Alright, we're back. By sheer bullshit of me forcing something to work, we're kind of back. I just gotta start up from the depths again. Shouldn't take me a moment to fix everything. Why? Why are you going to red? It shouldn't be doing this. Come on, machine. Work, for fuck's sake. You have internet connection. I know you have internet connection. I can literally see it right here where it says connected. If I fucking go to properties. Yeah, I have 650 megabytes, so 650 megabytes a second. It should be fucking working. This is why we can't have good things, guys. This is why I can't do the thing that I wanted to do today, but whatever. How can I force this thing to work? That is a question of the day today. That is the question of the day today, I guess. Can we indeed force a thing to work by brute force and pure pain? The answer is probably yes. Now, this game has never given me problems before when streaming. I did it yesterday and it was fine. The one thing I am going to do, though, is options, sound. 0.01. Thank you. I don't know why it's doing this now, but it's doing it now, if that makes any sense. Like, the stream itself is so far behind right now. Even though it's fine on the KBS a second, it's at like fucking 8,000. Beat up your computer, folks. It kind of fucking fixes issues. Haha, I have that as the answer. Well, it should be working. What's the fucking command to restart my graphics card again? Okay, we're restarting my graphics drivers. Oh yeah, Lonely, this is the day I did the fucking thing, too. I did that update last night. So, you know, I'm just gonna say it, Lonely, I think you broke my computer. I blame Lonely. We blame Lonely, chat. We blame Lonely. Anyway, so I do have some new vehicles that I'm gonna try to show off. Hopefully my shrink doesn't fucking shoot itself in the ankle and I try to show off things. But, you know, I mentioned we have the
Listening.
It's basically a high altitude weather balloon. I also have some cool little armored cars. Like this thing. Looks fucking kinda cool, you know? It has missiles with proxy fuses. And this is the advanced version of it, which has more missiles with proxy fuses. So these are basically like the anti-air cars. The GDH. Another armored car. I basically went on an armored car building spree, if that makes any sense. Because, yeah, I basically just upgraded these things. Or made these things and all that. 54mm gun that fires incredibly quick, and then we have these guys. So for example, because we're in Barrens, I'm just going to spawn in the funny little Antis thing. Kaboom. So yeah, these things are built as basically like little trolling vehicles, and they're kind of funny for the armored cars and shit. But the missile vehicles here are mainly built to fuck with planes. I built these because fucking I don't want to deal with planes. These ones are basically high altitude fucking bullshit. And these ones are eat. Oh, my mic was disconnected for that whole time. All I was saying was, like, these little things are mainly made for fighting both aircraft and other things. So I'll show you more specifically for the armored car. Because I know the armored car is probably not what y'all are, like, wondering about, but I'm gonna just show it off anyway. Because I do like the armored car, and it's kind of like one of my... Ironically enough, this thing has kind of grown on me, considering not only is it cheap, it's also just a little funny thing. Sure, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's also good at fucking around with planes. So for example, if I just go with the Gladys here, the Gladys is only slightly smaller, or slightly bigger in size for comparison's sakes. Yeah, it has the prediction. All in all, it's not a bad vehicle, it's very funny. It's actually not a bad vehicle, it's just a bit trolly. Like, especially if you get like a few of those things together, it's like, wah. Just absolute wah moment. But anyway, no, we're going to be finishing up a couple of new builds today that I'm going to do. Mainly just like lighter tanks that I can kind of just spawn near the start of everything. So they aren't really going to be that massive, but they're going to be kind of like this type of size, if that makes any sense. So roughly about there, 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 and then I need a 4 slope like that. Alright, and now we need land. I'm just gonna use my usual 3 fucking size drive wheels for it. Just like this. Tank wheel spread to neighbor. Tank wheel spread to neighbor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the frontal armor to be like that. And the back armor to be like that. I like 2s better for the back and front armor. Kind of makes it look a bit more slick, if that makes any sense. And because these things are mainly going to be just metal, if you know what I mean, they're just basically going to be hunks of fucking metal with nothing else of substance to them, other than they might be able to block a few bullets. That's basically what we're building, is just hunks of metal that can be cheap to use and spawn. And then I can kind of just spam out a little bit. So we already have that, so I'm going to add all tracks. Or add track. And add track. Drive response. Yep, everything's set up there nicely. So now what I'm going to then do, give this thing a more rolled type of shape. If you know what I mean, like I'm looking more like a roll for, you know, cool kind of looks. I guess you can call it that. Because again, I want this thing to be able to be spawned for relatively cheap in comparison to, oh, I don't know, my heavy vehicles and whatnot. So in terms of shit and room we have to fuck with, it's about that much, essentially, but like, well, let me fix it a little bit more. The room we have to fuck around with is this interior box here. But as we build up, you'll see that that's not a lot of room. Yes, while I would like to have had more, it's like I don't mind having less. Alright, and now for the next part, which I'm going to go with a 3 offset. Like that on the, and a bit like that. And kaboof. And kaboof. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. So this is definitely where the turret's going. But I want to get like a size profile for this area. So it's 6 long and 5 wide. So why don't we just do a 5 by 5? Like so. So So that's where the turret's gonna go. And now we have to do the internals. I'm gonna go simple, I'm thinking. Just a simple fucking engine that I can just spam out. So, like, here. Then I'm gonna go radiate. Then I'm gonna. Wait, do I go radiator here? So then I can do. No, carb can go there, but can it then do the supercharger over here? No. Okay, so carburetor has to go there, and then the supercharger has to go like. Like this, there we go, and then I can if I can do this right, like this, and then do that, and that, and then I can I put these on top like that? No. So it has to be on top of a cylinder. Oh, that works. Fuck it. Because then I can have my exhaust going up like this. Or do I want it actually to curve back so I can have a better exit point? Yeah, I'm thinking curve back for the better exit. And then I can do that. That works, that works. Though actually I'm gonna want it to be a 3 and not a fucking 2. You know, it's great building in this game. For resources, we're gonna need some fuel, so we just, whoops, I meant that. So we have a bit of playroom here. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna put 2 fuel block there. And then this will be where my materials kind of go. And then I can kind of just put that there and just boom with a waboom. So that is this vehicle now. Small, light tank, I'm thinking. But I do kind of want to add a bit of like deco kind of like ish shit. Or like just some weird blocks. Yes. Good. Yeah, there we go. I like that a lot. And then I can do that. Yes. But now we have the Applique armor. Basically, there's a little deco thing I've started trying to learn how to do. There we go. Now that kind of looks more interesting, I would argue. Right? That looks a bit better, a bit more interesting, a bit more bizarre. And then what I can then also do is kind of like on the bottom, I'm thinking, is just that. Go with the half corner like that. And then go with like the thing like that. Yeah, I like that, I like that. Alright, nice. And now in terms of this hull, I think we're gonna save this hull as series type 881 series 2. And just basically do that. So that is that thing's hull. 5,000 materials. Kind of like a light-ish tank. For the turret and shit, we're going to build that now. Because we're going to build a couple variations of this vehicle, I'm thinking, today. Advanced cannons. Yes, we like the advanced cannons. One gauge increaser plus that. Yep, that looks better to me like that. In terms of the autoloader capacity, I'm gonna give it just something and just a fucking belt loader of some form, honestly. Belt loaders are gonna just be the thing that I'm gonna probably use for this type of vehicle because it's just very straightforward and simple. Just bottom layer of belt loaders. Nice. And then I can seal the top. Nice. Alright. Now I can actually think of good turret designs that I would like to use on this vehicular device. So, I'm thinking we're gonna give it... I don't know what type of shell we're gonna have it fire. But I don't want it to be that massive of a gun. But I'm thinking we're gonna do multi-cannon time, so like I'm gonna do this to make it really fucking big. Trust me, there's a process. And just keeping with the idea of this is going to be cheapish to use, right? I'm gonna build it to be that, essentially. Like, cheap to call into the campaign. Nothing fancy about it, just a vehicle that you can use to do something. It's kind of the idea behind it. I'm gonna give it 6 cannons, I'm thinking. Each 104s, maybe. That would be kind of crazy if we could actually fucking make that work. Hold the phone. We might be able to try it. Like this. Like that. 2. And let's do that. And that. Like this. And slope it back out. Alright, AI. It needs to fucking C to shoot, so we're gonna make it C to shoot. And we're gonna make it C to shoot from maybe a couple of angles. No, I don't like that. And that, like that, like that, like this, and boom. Turret done. Alright, let's think of shells here. I'm gonna go with my standard 8s. 8s are gonna be fine. We like 8. Gunpowder. I'm thinking we're gonna go with maybe, what would be good firing from this gun? Maybe AP frag. Solid and then frag. It's 6-1. Holy Jesus Christ. Let's flatten this down to 65 for the fire rate. Allow the guns to spin up. She'll need more ammo storage to stay this size. Not a big deal. I can definitely attempt to find more place. Yep, that works better. And what we shall now do is save this as, what's a very funny light tank name? We'll just call this the B8. No. I don't like that. It doesn't roll off the brain. Slug is now the slug. Overall, fucking Christ, I'm surprised I made that fucking work. So let's try it out. Let's see if the shells fucking do their thing. Yeah, they do. Let's send the
Listening.
slug on a mission then. And we'll just spawn in a stinger. Which is roughly the same size as this vehicle, so I'm going to just save the slug again, because it's going to get up to speed and shit. Yep, we're getting up to good solid speed here. I mean, for a vehicle that's cheap, it definitely knows that it can take a shot. You know, I might need to cover that up a little bit, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Not the rotating part, the hull. Give me the right color. Alright, let me think. Let me actually make the turret a tiny bit bigger, I guess. Or just flatten the bottom part out on the side. And the back and the front, okay. Not a big deal. Now let's look at it. Yep, all covered now. Perfect. Slug. You're reading that now. Alright, let me just spawn in this. $13,000 materials, 100 and something mil gun. Overall, fairly decent vehicle. You can definitely move around, which is good. And it can, in fact, take a fucking hit. A little bit of one. Thank you very much for the follow on TikTok. It's always appreciated. Yep, definitely is able to take a hit. That's all that counts at the end of the day. Now that I can save this vehicle for it going at speed, we are a lot better off now. Now then, let's restart the designer, because today I mentioned this to the last day we're going to be building, I should say. Mainly because I just needed something that's, like, kind of cheap-ish. Besides just, you know, that, or the other vehicles and shit. So that's what we're doing kind of today. And this one I'm going to make the missile version. AKA, it's just going to carry missile. Smalls, yeah. Unless I can kind of... Okay, I'm gonna try this. Bear with me. I have an idea. I have the idea, guys. If I go with a 2, does that... oh, yes, it does work. A 2 does work for it, so it's going to be a bit of a weird roll now. But if I go with a 4 at the back... very nice. Alright, we have the wedge. It's just a fucking wedge now. Alright. And just to protect everything a little bit more. Alright. Now let me go here. Alright, that should work out better, methinks. Alright. Now for this thing, we're gonna make just a simple fucking air mixed with ground interception thing. There we go. Now they'll all eject fairly quick, and we're gonna save this as the slug. M. M for missile, just so I can remember everything later on. The slug 2M, 14,000 materials, overall not bad. Let's give her a test. Stinger. And I'll save it when this thing gets up to speed, so those things all should automatically go toward that now. Very nice. Yep, there we go. All those missiles just hit. And there they all go again. Oh, I forgot that this was still in play.
Listening.
Oh, that was out of play already. Oh. Well. Where are Staples? Oh god, here come the big missiles. They're coming right for us. They're coming right for us. Oh no. Bong, 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 bong. 'Tis but a scratch. No, she's definitely able to take a punch. Which is at least something. It's better than the last few vehicles I've made. And there, you know, you can see the fucking internals after a few missile strikes. Not ideal, but it's still attacking. Okay, so that's kind of actually good. I want to just see something, though. If I spawn in the idea that I had for the scout, which is I can spawn in a lot of these. Right?
Listening.
I just need to see something. Yeah, okay, these missiles are very long range. Okay, I just needed to know. I just wanted to know if these missiles were long enough range for what I was going for, which they are. Nice, alright. So I do have my fucking car. For those of you who haven't seen this vehicle before, I was bored and made like a Leopard slash M1 Abrams type of thing. And it kind of works out well. Though I will say this, I do like how the Scout actually came out. Sure, it's not the fastest thing in the world. And sure, it isn't, like, you know, but I like how it kind of looks cool, you know? Like, you gotta admit, that kind of looks cool. And it can fire missiles super fast. Like, these missiles literally come out of here at 190 meters a second, by the way. Might take them a while to fucking reload, but that's besides the point, you know? Oh, fucking hey there, bud. Thank you for the drink. But nah, it's like, we have a lot of good vehicles now, and I'm kind of happy about that. Right? Because now I'm going to make the next thing for the slug hull. Right? I'm thinking this one I want to do... Maybe something to do with, not really in the... I don't really want... I don't think a laser is going to be good. Right? I really don't think a laser is going to do good in this. At least not right yet. Because there's not enough room to actually put a halfway decent laser in that. I could do these. This is From the Depths. I could also make a flamethrower vehicle. No. Might make a Sea Whiz. Point defense. Oh yeah, actually that's a good idea. I think of point defense thing. Plenty of room for ammo, I'm thinking, and cooling. Paint, yes, jaunts. I'm gonna give it actually both AIs, so it can both attack and defend too. So something kind of like this is what I'm thinking. And then Omni-Mantlet at the front. And now on the internals here, because these are all going to be like, what, part of the same fucking system, all I need to do is put these, that, and these, right? Bear with. Because that will allow it to still rotate. And this should also allow it to still rotate, I think. The only thing that won't let it rotate is if they're on the very far outside. I'm fairly sure of. At least in my mind. Alright, and then all I'm going to do for this turret is I'm keeping it simple for it. Maybe just, you know, something... Maybe like something like this. Like where it kind of like starts to move out from the actual thing. Right? If I do that on all the sides too. No, that doesn't look as good. That looks better. Though actually, what I am going to do is add more cooling vents to the front. Have this come out to here. And then put my Omni. So I can then kind of do that. So it looks more unique. So let's test that now. Nice, okay. Like that, like that, like this. Like that. I'll give it an IR tracker to be different this time. Kind of looks cool, you know? There we go, now it has its ability to use its shit for defense as well. And boom, boom. But we're gonna make it multied out. 36mm cannons, yep, that works. So let me just go to APS and make us a shell. Eight, as per normal, because 8s are kind of just based. Thinking we're gonna just go with more high explosive, but we're gonna go with a armor piercing type of head. Literally just basically this shell here. Yep, very nice. And then in terms of resources, because we're gonna probably need more fucking ammo parts and shit. Base hull, right about, you know. I'm only gonna do the one, it's gonna be that right there. Perfect. Now this thing should have a good amount of ammo storage. 1100 for the rotational. And let's narrow it down to 2-meter spacing for the barrels. Yeah, it definitely looks fucking sick. What are we gonna call this thing? The Slug AA. Perfect name. So let us bring out a plane Gladys. We're gonna bring it fucking closer, maybe like that far away. Oh yeah. Slug AA. It definitely will do its work. When it's all loaded up, that is. When it isn't loaded, then we have a problem. If we have multiple of these, then it's gonna be better. Again, mainly as a anti-munitions vehicle, right? But I still gave it the ability to attack for the most part. Fucking Christ. This thing is terrifying already. The fact that it's so fucking small actually is what's gonna get it. You know, like, it fires fucking very fast. Very fucking small. It's terrifying. So I just go to the restart area here. And yeah. Anyway, that is where we are going to be calling it for today. I hope everyone had a good time, and I'll catch everybody in the next